Hello everyone, welcome to Get My Class. Today we're going to solve this question which says the offspring produced by sexual reproduction exhibit more variation than those produced by asexual reproduction because option A, sexual reproduction is a lengthy process. Option B, gametes of parents are genetically different. Option C, gametes of parents are genetically identical. Option B, more DNA is involved in sexual reproduction. So what has been asked in the question? The question says the offspring produced by sexual reproduction exhibit more variation. So what are they talking about? They're telling that it exhibits more variation than those produced by asexual reproduction. Okay. So they're asking actually, what is the reason that the offspring which are produced by sexual reproduction, they show more variation than those which are produced by asexual reproduction. Now, what happens during sexual reproduction? We talk about sexual reproduction. You can see that here there is involvement of two parents, right? Two parents are involved, that is male and female parents. So that means the male parents will give rise to male gametes, okay, and female parents will give rise to female gametes. And these two fuse together to give rise to the male gamete fuse with the female gamete, and these will give rise to what? These will give rise to zygote. And here, what is happening? There is combination of the genes from the male parent and the genes from the female parent is happening. So here, though the gametes are haploid and haploid, the zygote becomes diploid. And that is how there is combination of new genes, that is the genes from the male gamete and the genes from the female gets combined here. Okay, and hence you can see that in the offspring, you can see variation. So these zygote will give rise to offsprings with lot of variation. So these will have lot of variation. Why? Because there is mixing of genes because the gametes are coming from two different parents. Okay, so you can see a lot of variation in case of sexual reproduction. Now, what about asexual reproduction? So asexual reproduction. In case of asexual reproduction, there is only one parent which is involved. There is involvement of only one parent. Hence, the organism, or you can say the offspring which are produced from the single parent, the offsprings which are produced by single parents, they will be genetically identical to the parent itself, as well as they'll be genetically identical to the offspring, that is the other offsprings. That is, among themselves, they'll be genetically identical and also with the parent. Now, you can call it as genetically identical offspring. So these offsprings are what? Genetically identical because they are formed by single parent. Okay, and they don't show variation. So no variation because they are produced from single parent. So let us look at the question again. It says the offspring produced by sexual reproduction exhibit more variation than those produced by asexual reproduction because. Let us look at the option A. Option A is sexual reproduction is a lengthy process. So whether it is lengthy process or short process, nowhere it speaks about variation. Okay. So of course it can be lengthy process, but that cannot be the reason to be considered for showing variation. Hence option A is true. Option B says gametes of parents are genetically different. Yes, this is correct because gametes of parents are genetically different because there is involvement of male gamete and female gamete. Hence, they are genetically different. So that is the reason why we can see variation in case of offspring which are produced by sexual reproduction. So option B should be correct. Now let us look at the option C. Option C says gametes of parents are genetically identical. So here gametes of parents are not genetically identical because they are coming from two different parents. Hence option C is no. Option D says more DNA is involved in sexual reproduction. Again, whether the DNA, it depends on the organisms to organism. But whatever the DNA is in the parent, parental cells, it will be like in the gametes, it will be half of it. So anyhow, zygote will be diploid here. So that means it will contain two sets of the chromosome. Similarly, in case of asexual reproduction, even though it is one parent, all the cells will contain the diploid number of chromosomes only. Like that means whatever number of chromosomes are present in the parental vegetative cell, same number of chromosomes will be there in each and every cells of offspring. Okay, each and every vegetative cells of the offspring. Okay, hence we cannot say that more DNA is involved in sexual reproduction. Hence that is also ruled out. So the correct answer is option B, that is gametes of parents are genetically different, and that is why they show variation. So let us conclude the answer. So what is the final answer? The final answer is option B. Okay, that is gametes of parents are genetically different, and that is why they show variation in case of sexual reproduction. That is the offspring which are produced in sexual reproduction. They show variation. I hope you understood the explanation. Thank you, everyone.